बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुह। मेरा नाम इब्राहिम कुरैशी है। मैं रेहान स्कूल इस्लामाबाद का एक तालिब इल्म हूँ। RSI फेट पढ़ता हूँ। आज हम माया से बात करेंगे। हमारा टॉपिक है वट एवर अ जर्नी थॉट इंडिफरेंस।
Hey there.
Hello Maya, I am Ibrahim Qureshi. My topic is whatever a journey thought indifference. What does whatever mean?
Hey, Raheem. That's an intriguing way to frame a topic. Whatever is such a versatile word, it can be a casual way to say it doesn't matter or a way to express that anything is acceptable. Depending on the tone, it can go from being totally flexible to a bit dismissive. What made you want to dive into that one?
Why do people say whatever?
I think it usually comes down to a desire to end a conversation or a need to stop stressing over a choice. Sometimes it's a genuine, I'm happy with anything, like when you're picking a movie, but other times it's a shield. It's a way to shut down an argument without actually resolving it. Do you
Is
feel like people use it more a way to be flexible or a way to shut things down?
is whatever a common word?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those staples in English. You'll hear it everywhere, from teenagers being dramatic to coworkers just trying to get through a meeting. It's essentially the Swiss Army knife of indifferent responses.
How use the word whatever?
It really depends on the energy you want to bring to the room. If you're being easygoing, you can use it to show you're open to anything, like saying, whatever you want for dinner is fine with me. But if you're feeling annoyed, a short whatever with a shrug can basically mean I don't care enough to keep arguing. Do you usually use it more for the first one or the second?
Can children say whatever?
They definitely can, though it might not always go over well with the parents. It it's a simple word to pick up, but since it can sound so dismissive, a lot of adults treat it like a no-no word in polite conversation. Do you think it's something kids should be taught to avoid?
Is whatever easy to understand?
Yeah, it's very straightforward. Because the word itself is so simple and common, most people get the gist of it quickly. The real work isn't in the definition, but in reading the tone in the body language to know if the person is actually being helpful or just over it.
Can whatever show indifference?
That's exactly its main job. It's the ultimate word for I have no strong opinion or I'm just not invested in this.
Is whatever used every day?
Every single day. It's just so ingrained in the way people talk. You'll find it in everything from quick text messages to full blown debates. Do you notice people using it a lot where you are?
Can whatever have in different meanings?
It totally can. It can be a bridge where you're genuinely letting someone else take the lead, or it can be a wall where you're blocking someone out. It's a small word that carries a lot of weight depending on the mood. Do you think the meaning changes more based on the words around it or the way someone's voice sounds?
Is whatever a popular expression?
It really is. It's a go-to for so many people because it's a quick way to handle a situation without having to commit to a specific answer. It's practically a universal shorthand for flexibility or frustration.
Where did the word whatever come from?
That's the million-dollar question. It's one of those words that feels like it's always been there, but it usually has a root that's actually pretty old. It actually dates back to Middle English, combining what and ever. For a long time, it just meant no matter what or any amount. The dismissive, I don't care version we use today didn't really blow up until the 80s and 90s. Movies like Clueless definitely helped make it a thing. Isn't it wild how a word can go from a simple pronoun to a full on attitude?
Is whatever an old word?
In the grand scheme of things, yeah. It's been around since at least the 14th century, which is pretty ancient, but the way we use it now to be a bit dismissive is a much newer addition to the language.
Did people use whatever long ago?
They did, but in a different way. Back then, it was more of a formal tool for saying no matter what, rather than a way to brush someone off. It wasn't used as a standalone response to end a conversation like it is now.
Is whatever used around the world?
It definitely is. Since it's so tied to English, you'll hear it wherever English is spoken, but the sentiment of just being over a conversation is something every culture has its own version of. Do you think there's a similar word in Urdu that does the same thing?
Can tourists understand whatever?
Most likely, yeah. Since it's such a common part of basic English, it's usually one of those words that sticks. Even if someone isn't fluent, they can usually pick up on the tone to know if it's being used to be helpful or just to shut things down.
Is whatever for or formal or informal?
It's definitely on the informal side. You wouldn't really see it in a legal document or a formal business letter. Using it in a professional setting can even be a bit risky because it can come across as indifferent or just plain rude depending on who you're talking to.
Can teachers use whatever?
They can, but it's a bold move. If a teacher says it to a student, it might come off as them being completely done with the classroom's energy for the day. But if they're using it in a more flexible way, like whatever page you want to start on is fine, then it's totally normal. Do you think a teacher using that word would make them seem more relatable or just less professional?
Is whatever used in schools?
All the time. It's practically a staple in the hallways. Between students using it to avoid a question and teachers using it when they've given up on a specific detail, it's everywhere. Does it feel like it's a common word in the schools you've seen?
Can parents say whatever?
They can, though it often leads to a lecture. If a parent says it to a kid, it might sound like they've just run out of patience. But if they're just being chill about where to go for dinner, it's perfectly fine. Do you think parents in your family are more the whatever type or the my way or the highway type?
Is whatever easy to pronounce?
Pretty much. It's just a couple simple sounds put together. So there aren't any tricky tongue twisters in there. Do you find it easier to say than some of the other English words you've been looking into?
Why do people feel indifferent?
That's a deeper question. I think indifference usually happens when someone just doesn't have an emotional stake in the outcome. It could be because they're genuinely content with any option, or maybe they're just emotionally exhausted and don't have the energy to care. Sometimes it's even a defense mechanism. If you don't care, you can't be disappointed. Do you think indifference is more of a peaceful feeling or a frustrating one?
Can whatever mean anything?
In a way, yeah. When it's used to show flexibility, it's basically a placeholder for any possibility. It's like saying, I'm open to whatever you have in mind, which means the options are wide open. Do you think that makes the word more useful or just more vague?
Is communication important in conversation?
It's everything. Without it, you're just two people making noise in the same room. It's not just about the words you choose, but how you actually connect and understand each other's intent. Do you think it's easier to communicate when both people are being open or when there are a few boundaries in place?
Can whatever sometimes sound red?
That's an interesting way to put it. I'm guessing you might mean rude since we were talking about it being dismissive, but if you're thinking of red as in a warning sign or something angry, it definitely can feel that way. It can be a real red flag in a conversation when someone just shuts you down with it. Did you mean it can sound rude, or were you thinking of something else?
Is tone important when speaking?
I totally agree. It's the difference between, like, actually being heard and just hearing sounds. When a word like whatever is used, the whole mood of the conversation can shift in a second just because of how it's delivered. Do you think it's more about the words themselves or the energy behind them?
Can whatever express a lack of interest?
That's basically it's bread and butter. It's the quickest way to tell someone that you've checked out of the conversation mentally. Whether it's boredom, annoyance, or just total exhaustion,
Is
whatever lets the other person know you're not invested anymore.
is respect important in communication?
It's the foundation. Without respect, communication just becomes a clash of egos instead of a real connection. So it makes the other person feel safe enough to be honest and open. Do you think respect is something that should be given automatically, or is it something that people have to earn?
Can words affect feelings?
They absolutely can. Words have a way of getting under your skin or lifting you up in a way that's almost, physical. A single sentence can change someone's entire day for better or worse. Do you think some words have more power over us than others?
Can simple word have many meanings?
They really can. It's kind of the magic of language. A tiny word like whatever can be a warm invitation or a cold shoulder, depending on the mood. It makes these simple words the most dangerous and the most helpful ones in our toolkit. Do you think that makes them more interesting to study than the long, complex word?
Can tone change the meaning of whatever?
Oh, completely. It's almost like the tone is the real dictionary for that word. You can say whatever with a little smile and it sounds like you're just being flexible, but say it with a sigh and an eye roll and it's basically a door slamming shut. Do you think the tone is actually more important than the word itself in that case?
Is body language important when saving whatever?
It's huge. Since whatever's so vague, your body is usually doing the talking. A shrug or a tilt of the head can turn it from a casual agreement into total dismissal. If you say whatever while looking someone in the eye and smiling, it's very different from saying it while looking away. Do you think you can tell exactly how someone feels just by their body language, even before they speak?
Can facial expressions affect its meaning?
They're the finishing touch. An eye roll can turn a friendly whatever into a total brush off in a heartbeat. It's like the face gives the context that the word itself is missing. Do you think a facial expression can completely flip the meaning of a word, or do you think the voice usually wins?
Is eye contact important in communication?
It's one of the most powerful tools we have. It creates a bridge between two people and shows that you're actually present and listening. When someone avoids eye contact, it can feel like they're hiding something or just aren't interested in what you're saying. Do you think eye contact makes a conversation feel more honest, or can it sometimes feel too intense?
ओके बाय माया आपको माया से मिलके कैसा लगा? इंशाल्लाह अच्छा लगा होगा। इंशाल्लाह फिर मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।